Guys, we're here with Megan and Eddie McNulty, and you have been selected to be our recipient of the family, right? Because everybody's going through it in the family that we're going to support for No Shave November. So we're very excited for you, and we just wanted you to share with everybody kind of what's going on and the journey that you've been put on.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you so much. So a little bit about it. I don't have any cancer in my family. And I've been healthy. I live a pretty healthy lifestyle as it is. So I found a bump on my chest wall, and it kind of felt like there was like a rock in there, and it was kind of right at that perfect area of where like a seatbelt goes, or a purse. And I had already an appointment with my Dr. Bossenberger, my regular doctor, and so thankfully he took the reins from there, not even expecting anything. We thought maybe it was a broken rib. We couldn't think of anything, and I was feeling totally fine. We did blood work, we did the ultrasound, and ended up doing an ultrasound biopsy, but still never even crossed my mind that something was going to be there. And then on August 20th, I got the call, and it was, I mean, I could have thought about any other circumstance but to say that he didn't have the news that he was going to. And it was an out-of-body experience, to say the least. And from then on, we have been going from doctor to doctor, kind of like a hot potato. No one really knows what to do with me yet.
Yeah. So what is the cancer?
So it's called a chest wall sarcoma. More specifically, it's called like EOO, is what I guess the term is. But basically a sarcoma, and it's like of the bone, soft tissue.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. They explained it to us. They were like 1 in 8 people like get affected by breast cancer. So they were like, it's like 1 in 250,000 are affected by sarcomas, and then there's like 1,000 different subtypes of sarcomas. So like the one that she could have is like could be like 1 in, you know, crazy odds, just super rare.
I am
stuff.
1 in a million.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, it's very alarming. And I don't know, I think that there's probably some sort of blessing in that it's not something I can Google as much.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm a researcher, and I think my whole mindset of everything has been control the controllable. And
which is really good, right? I mean, that's difficult. It's easy to say to somebody, but now you're experiencing it.
Yeah, and I'm so, a lot of things, I have so much going for me. I mean, I mean, I'm healthy and I'm young as it is. Our support system is amazing. And we have, I mean, even with our businesses, we have just like incredible employees and, you know, customers, and it's just, the community that we've created over this long, I'm so, in a way, thankful. If there was a time to have it, there's never really a time to have cancer, I don't think. But if I was, I'm glad it wasn't even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I have a lot going for me, and I'm thankful I'm not feeling ill all the time. It was just my only symptom.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to be thankful for it, like just the fact that it popped up, because they said most sarcomas don't get discovered till they're like, you know, so big or whatever, and like that one just like
it was in the right.
Seems like caught early. Just the fact that it like bothered her with the seatbelt, I would have that thing would have been the size of a basketball before I went to the doctor.
That's because we're stuck.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I would have let that thing go. I'm like, I just got a lump for my life now.
I remember even like kind of feeling something, and I was like, that's weird. It just feels like a little bruise.
Yeah.
And then Peyton saw me, and she goes, like, Mom, what is that? And it was sticking out, and I was like, oh, like you see it too, like, you know. So like, thankfully, she said something, because it is, I had that appointment already.
Right.
I don't know if I would have. Maybe it really hurt, so maybe I would have called to do something about it. But I probably would have just called a dermatologist or something.
Right.
But
so tell us about, I mean, the treatment. Have you started treatment? When do you start treatment? What kind of treatment? And then also, I think, you know, because you experience this as a family, right? It's not just you have cancer. How are you managing this with the children? You know, I think that there are people watching that are in a similar position, maybe not sarcoma, but you know, how are they? Because the mindset piece I think is huge, right? Control the controllables, which I said it's easy to say, difficult to do, especially when you're in it. But I think it's an important piece to kind of relay to people that maybe are going through this, how you're handling that from a mindset piece, and then how you're navigating it with your children.
I have been very thankful to have like a lot of really smart people around me. I mean, when my first thought when honestly, my first thought when I found out, I was like, I could only think of the people that died. And I was going, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know who to talk to, because it was such a weird experience. Like, just something so, like, I felt detached from my body. I've never been more surprised in my life. Like, I've never gone through a shock like that before. I mean, even my pregnancies were through fertility drugs and expected in a way, you know, like I tried for that. I was putting effort in. So I'd never really been so shocked before. But, and then my first thoughts were, like, I don't want this to be my kid's story. Like, I feel like we try to do anything we can to make, like, you know, as many memories and amazing time with our kids. And I was just like, oh, like.
And we actually didn't tell the kids for a while. Like, we were hoping, I was honestly hoping that it was like,
wrong.
We get it. Yeah, that one big
still
time. But the second one, it was just like, oh, it's a bump. They're just going to cut it out. So I'm like, we can tell Peyton, like our older daughter, like we can tell her after the fact, be like, hey, this is what happened. They cut it out. It's good. You're going to have to put this down when you go to the doctor, like if they ask for like family history. And it just became a little more involved in that.
They're all like, especially Parker, she's like, she takes care of me all the time, you know, and she's so sweet. And she's like, I'll take care of you during it. And, you know, and so I think when Peyton realized, I was very honest with the kids from the beginning. Like, they found the bump. I wanted to acknowledge, like, hey, if you have something different, you need to address it. Like, know your own body and listen to yourself. But at the same time, like, you know, they were seeing me shift my food completely. And they were like, what is going on, you know?
They're like, why can't we go to McDonald's?
Well, she's a pretty big sweet tooth, so like, I mean, she cut sugar out like 100% like the next day. So like, they're like, what do you mean you don't want ice cream? That was probably when Parker started getting suspicious.
I know.
She's like,
you
wait
don't want ice cream. Like, she was just like, you know, devastated. Like, who are you? You know, and we live like by Ziggy's, you know.
I always said no to ice cream, and she always said yes, so they knew. So once she started saying no too, they're like, what's going on?
I know.
Getting tracked.
So, but they've been, I think I have a harder, like Parker is 7, so at that age, the words don't really affect her as much. But the community that we have is like, I mean, everyone has our kids' backs, like, which is everything for a mom who, and you know, I love to be the one doing everything and driving all the carpools and doing all that, because I love watching them grow firsthand and hearing those memories. I've actually been kind of like a little sad with Peyton's driver's training. I'm like, oh, like I still want her to drive with me. I'll still drive you everywhere, you know. But I know that obviously it's for independence, but I just love it. And so I've had to let people help me. Because there's some days where it just is, I'm having a really hard day. And, you know, there's only so many diversions we can have. And so, like, Eddie is, like, been able to kind of hold everything in and kind of, if I'm having a bad day, they're like, he's, like, keeps him busy. Or another mom keeps him busy. Or, you know, it's just, it's really, like...
Yeah, but you were saying, like, ask how to do it. It does hit you, like, where you were like, oh, you're scared, or like gratitude or whatever. It's like waves. It's almost like when somebody dies and then something reminds you of them, you know what I mean? And then, like, you get hit with, like, another one. So there's just, like, she was having really hard days every time we had a doctor appointment, because she's just like, it's like so real, and they're like talking about it, because like initially they're like, yeah, you have this, and you're like, do I? You know, I mean, because she's not, I could see if, or like people that are like, you know, a lot of people, again, very fortunate, very grateful that like we found it before symptoms went, because
Right.
they were asking us all this stuff. So they're like, well, how long have you been waking up with night sweats? And she's like, well, I'm not, you know, stuff
Now
like
I
that.
am,
Like,
though, 'cause I'm just
but
trying-
they're like,
You mentioned it. To
Yeah,
me.
but they were
know,
asking
like-
all those questions like, oh, did you find it because of this? And it's like, no, it just like popped up. And they're like, so, you know, we're very, very
feeling like you're
fortunate.
ahead of the curve,
Yeah, like it
where it
just,
could've been.
if we pull
And-
anything positive out of it, it's like this popped up, you know, like it popped up for a reason, like, because it could have went in, you know what I mean? Like it could have
Right.
grown in instead of like bumping out, because it's really not that big. Like they do say they're like, it's very aggressive and like it's this and this, but it's like a small size where like who knows what it would have been
Right.
even,
If
you
you
know, a
had-
year from now, or if like she
If they
waited
hadn't
and
surfaced.
yeah, like if she was waited until there were
Or if I
side
was
effects or like
10
medical
pounds
issues.
heavier.
You wouldn't have noticed.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
noticed it. When it comes down to it, I very quickly changed my mindset to, well, this has to be for something. Like, there has to be a greater purpose that this is going on, because it's so random, you know, like so not even, you know, anything that I would ever expect or even knew about before. I never even.
Does it place you almost in a, like, obviously you have the initial shock of it, but and then you have the fear, but it seems like it's kind of placed you into gratitude as well.
It has, and it's been like, it's been really kind of empowering, if that sounds like weird to other people, but it's been, I've learned, I've always been healthy, but now, like, you know, certain people are like, oh, have you talked to so-and-so? And so one of the cheer dads, he had gone through leukemia when he was younger. And I mean, his motivation and his words, I was like, this is what you can do, you know? And, you know, this is your, and one thing he said was, like, think of it as okay, it is what it is, but right now, you're prepping yourself to be healthiest that you can for surgery or when you do chemo. Like, every day is like one thing.
With the most nominations we've ever received, we're super excited to be supporting Megan McNulty and her family this year for No Shave November. Guys, congratulations. We're super excited for you. Obviously, this is a difficult time for you, and so we're honored to have the opportunity to support you and get behind you. As you guys may or may not know, every year we raise money for You Can Survive, as well as a local family battling cancer, and that is going to be the McNultys this year. You can donate right now by visiting noshavejwg.com, and throughout the month of November, you will see us in our efforts on social media and in the community to help raise money to eradicate cancer in Michigan, as well as to support this amazing family. So thank you guys so much for your nominations. Again, visit noshavejwg.com to donate. Anything you want to share?
I was going to say thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
I know a lot of people have been asking us what they can do for us, and I love that we can have this platform to work together and hopefully help other people too.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I just really appreciate it.
Yeah, for
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys so very much.